You know, in one of MrBeast's most ambitious challenges ever, 100 people were pushed to their absolute limits. But if you look past all this spectacle and these giant, crazy traps, there's this incredible story about leadership, about strategy, and really about human behavior. So today, we're going to break down the critical decisions made under insane pressure to see what really separates a winning strategy from a total disaster. So what is it, really? When all the pressure's on, when there's a fortune on the line, what's the actual difference between a leader who steers their team to victory and one who, well, leads them straight into failure? We're going to use this $100,000 competition as our case study. And believe me, we're going to find some surprisingly clear answers. Okay, let's jump right into trop number 3. At this point, the competition's been narrowed down to just 20 people. And then there's a twist. They're split into 4 teams, and they're forced to pick a captain. All of a sudden, individual survival, it's not in their own hands anymore. Everything now rests on the shoulders of just one person. And then MrBeast drops this one line, and it completely changes the entire game. I mean, this isn't just about being strong or fast anymore. It's a test of responsibility, of trust, and strategic planning. For 4 people, the weight of their entire team's future just got dropped right on top of them. And this is where we get to the real heart of it, the bridge dilemma. This challenge basically became a perfect real-time laboratory for leadership. You had 4 captains, all facing the exact same problem, but they each came up with 4 wildly different strategies. So here's the deal. The rules were simple, but the stakes were super high. You had to build this wobbly bridge, run across, grab a key, and then run back to free one of your handcuffed teammates. But here's the catch. There were only 12 spots available for 20 people. Not everyone was making it through, so that meant your plan, your efficiency, it was absolutely everything. Okay, now this is where it gets really fascinating. Just look at this strategic divide here. Look at Tomer from the green team. His whole build the system first idea was just brilliant, not just for logistics, but psychologically. By unlocking everyone first, he created this sense of order and fairness. His team could just chill out and trust the process. Now, compare that to the pink and blue teams. Their one-by-one method created a bottleneck, a traffic jam. It turned the bridge into this symbol of chaos and scarcity, and you could see the anxiety level just shoot up. And then, oh man, then there's the orange team. Their captain's strategy was just a catastrophic failure, both in building the bridge and in communicating, well, anything. You can just hear the admiration, right? The relief in this contestant's voice. Tomer's plan wasn't just working in theory, everyone could see it happening. He was moving like a machine. And that kind of clarity, that speed, it built so much confidence for his entire team. And here it is, the polar opposite. This is that gut punch moment when trust just completely evaporates. It wasn't just a wobbly bridge, it was a total breakdown of leadership. The orange team had to just stand there and watch their captain Joseph struggle all by himself without a single word of reassurance or even a new plan. They realized his plan, whether he meant it or not, was a one-way ticket for himself. That failure to communicate was just as devastating as the bridge itself. I mean, the results on this chart are just staggering. Look at this. Green team, 100% survival. Pink and blue, who had a flawed plan, but at least it was a plan, they saved most of their people. And the orange team just decimated. The data couldn't be clearer. That initial leadership strategy and the trust, or lack of trust, it created was the single biggest factor in who succeeded and who failed. Okay, so let's see how this whole leadership thing evolves in trap number 4. The game shifts, right? It becomes less about logistics and building stuff and more about social strategy. Now, new captains have to choose 2 people to go up against in a physical challenge. And right here, we see 2 leaders with completely different philosophies. Tomer sticks with his cold, logical approach. He wants to eliminate the strongest threats right now, so he doesn't have to face them down the line. It's pure game theory. But then you have Austin, and he's operating on a totally different code. He's honoring a promise, an alliance he made. He's prioritizing trust and his word over what some might call a strategic advantage. It's this fascinating clash, and it just goes to show you how leadership has to adapt when the problems stop being about physics and start being about people. All right, for the final trap, forget everything we've just talked about. All the formal leadership, the teams, it's all gone. It is now a 4-person free-for-all. The logistical challenges are out the window, and strategy becomes purely social, purely psychological. It's a game of shifting alliances, of perceived threats, and ultimately, betrayal. And this is where the social dynamics just take over completely. It starts with Tomer's logical play. Take out the biggest threat, but being that competent just paints a giant target on his back. Then Joseph fires back with an eye for an eye shot, but the real power move comes next. The other two players gang up on the frontrunner, Tomer, and just as their little alliance works, poof, it's over. Bailey takes the winning shot against her temporary ally Kinsley, which just proves that in a zero-sum game, the only alliance that really matters in the end is the one you have with yourself. So after watching all these strategies clash, from logistics to social maneuvering to just pure survival instinct, what's the playbook? What did we actually learn here? Let's distill it all down. 4 huge takeaways here. First, build the system first. Tomer proved that a good, clean process that people can trust is way more powerful than just chaotic effort. Second, clarity prevents chaos. The other bridge teams showed us exactly how vague plans lead to panic and failure. Third, and this one's big, strategy must evolve. The very skills that made Tomer a great captain in a logistical challenge made him a huge target in a social one. And finally, social bonds are temporary. As Bailey's final shot proved, alliances only last as long as they help everyone involved.
And this all brings us to the final, crucial question. One for you, really. It's so easy to judge from the sidelines, right? But what if you were the captain? Standing on the edge of that bridge, the clock is ticking, and there are only a few spots left. What do you do? Do you go with the system that saves the team, or do you take the path that guarantees your own survival? The answer, well, it reveals what kind of leader you really are.